not only is The Hunchback of Notre Dame my favorite Disney movie, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Hell, I would put it in my top 15 favorite movies. The amazing atmosphere of the film, the beautiful animations, the characters, the music is amazing. HellFire and Heaven's Light are my two favorite Disney songs of all time. But that being said, it's not the perfect movie. The gargoyles, I hate the gargoyles. I think the movie would work so much better if it wasn't a comedy. If it was just a straight up drama, I think the movie would be everyone's favorite Disney movie. But I'm not here to talk about The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I'm here to talk about the straight-to-video release, The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. Now, before I actually go into the movie, I want to talk about the plot. Based off the age of Esmeralda's and Phoebus' kid, this movie takes place about 6 to 9 years after the first one, give or take a couple years, because who said Esmeralda got pregnant right away? But the whole plot of this movie is Quasimodo's search for love for a certain festival that's taking place. And right about this time, he's expressing these feelings of loneliness to everyone. A circus comes to town, and that circus's ringleader is actually a world-renowned thief who goes town to town and has his henchmen steal valuable goods from townspeople while he performs magic tricks with his assistant, Madeline. Quasimodo and Madeline fall in love with each other after Madeline is sent to search for the most valuable bell in the Notre Dame. After the ringmaster steals the bell and frames Madeline, everyone thinks that the only reason she was trying to get close to Quasimodo was she was trying to get the bell for the ringmaster. But she redeems herself by telling Phoebus, Quasimodo, and Esmeralda how they're trying to escape the city with the bell. They've tracked them down, but the ringmaster has gotten a hold of Phoebus' son because he had this subplot of wanting to become a juggler in the circus and everything, and in hopes of joining the circus, he smuggled his way onto the ringmaster's ship. So he is forced to let them go with the most valuable bell in Notre Dame. But Madeline saves the day by using her talents as a wannabe acrobat and trapeze artist. So everyone's happy, and her and Quasimodo live happily ever after. As you can probably tell by my tone of voice, I'm not a big fan of this movie. But there are some things I like the contrast between Madeline and Quasimodo. Because Madeline is kind of looked down upon because of her beauty. The ringmaster is constantly telling her, know your place, you're meant to just stand there and look pretty. Where the best Disney villain of all time, Frollo, constantly told Quasimodo, know your place, you're supposed to stay here in the bell tower, you are a monster. And I kind of really like that contrast of, yeah, being ugly can be a curse, but so can being really good looking. I also really like the idea that Esmeralda is really sympathetic towards Madeline because Phoebus accuses her because she's in the circus, and Esmeralda understands what it's like to be judged just because you travel a lot and the people you're associated with. I really like that. That's a great addition to the movie. But that's where my praise for this movie kind of stops. I understand why this movie looked like an episode of the Goof Troop. Obviously, it wasn't given a very big budget, certainly not a budget the size of the original, and it was straight to DVD. I understand that The Hunchback of Notre Dame didn't break records at the box office, but it obviously made enough to warrant a sequel. And this was after the Toy Story 2 of 1999. So why the hell was this thing straight to DVD and not put in theaters with a higher budget? I guess Disney saw the numbers that The Hunchback of Notre Dame made in theaters and didn't think it was financially viable enough to get a theatrical sequel, but it was viable enough to get a straight-to-DVD sequel. But let me get into why I don't like this movie very much. First off, how did they get the bell through the chapel and into the catacombs without the archdeacon knowing or noticing? Or let's talk about how the gargoyles are still there and they're still horrible and I still hate them. Or let's talk about the forgettable songs, because the songs are truly forgettable. Also, another weird thing is Esmeralda in this movie is constantly changing skin tones. Like in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, she's obviously of some type of Middle Eastern descent. There's types in this movies where she just looks like a very tan white person, where she looks Middle Eastern, where she looks black, and it's kind of disorienting. The animation is very choppy. Like Esmeralda's goat Jolly looks like they got a complete and total character redesign, and that's to say that the animation looks ugly. If this was not a sequel to The Hunchback of Notre Dame and this was like The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the TV series, I probably wouldn't hate it as much. But it's not. It's a direct sequel in the form of a movie. But there are times in this film where you can tell they're trying to make it look impressive. Like there's a couple shots of like the quote-unquote camera spinning around the person of focus, and those don't look bad. But all in all, this movie is like just really forgettable, so you can skip it, you can watch it. It's gonna waste an hour and 35 minutes of your life, but you can watch it definitely. I wouldn't recommend it though.
Beata Maria, you know I am a righteous man. Of my virtue I am justly proud. Beata Maria, you know I'm so much purer than the common, vulgar, weak, licentious crowd. Then tell me, Maria, why I see her dancing there, why her smoldering eyes still scorch my soul.